As you step into this coffee shop, a warm, inviting atmosphere immediately surrounds you. This rich aroma of freshly ground coffee beans fills the air. The scent is both bold and soothing, with hints of caramelized sweetness and a slight earthiness that promises a perfect brew. We begin this episode of Nation's Business with a visit to the South Pacific Coffee Cafe located on Nadi Bank Road. South Pacific Coffee was the recipient of a $55,000 grant from government to expand their operations that include sourcing coffee raw material from Fijian villages.
So the company started initially in 2014. We were trading as a different name, mainly roasting for our own business. At that time I had another cafe and restaurant, and we were roasting for ourselves and some others. We were always importing coffee. And so knowing that there's a lot of wild grown coffee in Fiji, we thought, look, we need to be utilizing the Fiji grown coffee and products. It took a few years to get to that stage, but 2020 we relocated to this facility, and this was obviously during COVID, the very beginning of the COVID outbreak, and really started focusing on getting coffee from local farmers and growers to reduce the amount of coffee we import and increase what we're using locally.
Over the years, South Pacific Coffee has been importing coffee from abroad. However, the company is now sourcing 30 to 40% of its coffee from local growers, with this percentage steadily increasing. Both the volume of locally sourced coffee and its proportion in the company's overall supply have experienced significant growth.
Being able to purchase and then process the local coffee requires equipment, space, and staffing. We were very lucky to receive some assistance from Ministry of Trade as part of the NES program, and that enabled us to get the processing equipment to take the beans from the local farms, process it, and be able to roast it with the other equipment that we have. So that was really beneficial to us.
The assistance provided to South Pacific Coffee has enabled the company to process coffee sourced from local communities and farmers. Dennis acknowledges the importance of collaborating more closely with government moving forward, particularly with the Ministry of Trade and the Ministry of Agriculture, to increase the sourcing of local coffee.
There's a huge amount of coffee out there, but we need assistance from government to have an awareness campaign. There's money sitting on trees for a lot of the farmers there, and we need help to get it from them to us. We will buy it, and with that, one, we can export it, and two, it reduces the amount of imports.
Local farmers have gained a stable income by selling their coffee beans to South Pacific Coffee, providing financial support for their families and communities. However, the company faces challenges in reaching certain villages due to geographical barriers and logistical constraints.
We work with some villages right in Ra. Most of it comes from the Singatoka Valley area, a lot around Keasi, Nalavosa, Nakoro, Draimba, right up through the Valley Road. There's also some Nasori Highlands, Pakuya, Nasori Highlands Village. So these are the ones that are close by that we can access. I know there's a lot in Vanuatu and other islands, but logistically it's hard for us to get to them.
There's a lot of raw material, there's a lot of coffee. There's just not enough people picking it. So the supply, the raw material, there is an abundance. It's just getting the communities to see the value in it and organize so that we have set picking times, set harvest schedules where we know, okay, for the next 8 to 10 weeks, we have these 3 villages that have their coffee is ripe.
A significant portion of the coffee pickers, particularly in the areas where South Pacific Coffee operates, are women, making up the percentage by 60 to 70%. While the work is demanding and tedious, it provides a crucial source of income for these local women and their families.
And it's good income, especially for the ability to stay at home. And what we do is we try and have a process where we say, right, you guys pick Tuesday, Wednesday, we'll come and buy it on Thursday. So that way it's only 2-3 days a week, but we get fresh product. And then for them, again, last year within 2 villages, they made over 6 figures in coffee sales in 2 months.
With a growing demand for coffee in the country, the Nandi-based company has recognized the need for more space at their coffee shop. To accommodate the increasing number of customers, the coffee-making machines and ovens will soon be relocated to a separate location, allowing the shop to expand and accommodate the growing number of customers.
Coffee is the second most consumed beverage in the world, behind water. It's coffee and tea. And when people say here, like, oh, Fiji doesn't really drink coffee, we drink tea. It's like, well, tea was also brought by the British. Tea is Indian. So coffee is slowly coming up. A lot more people are drinking it. A lot more people are catching on to locally grown coffee. And so slowly over the last couple of years, there's been a lot more support from the local community. They're liking it. They're liking the taste. For us, it's just a matter of figuring out how we can get more into the market. The more we can sell, obviously the more we can buy. And so at this point, we're shifting our gears so that we can move all our processing up to our farm, because we've run out of space here. We've actually capped out on how much we can process every season.
According to Dennis, the company is expanding its operations to the villages and local communities, not only to purchase coffee, but also engage in programs that offer benefits to the villagers.
And then also the programs that we're involved in and we're trying to focus on in terms of the community projects. We're trying to do harvest workshops to teach them more about coffee. We're starting a program. We'll start it at the end of this month, the first event. But we're teamed up with Fiji Cancer. So, because a lot of the areas we go to for harvest workshops and coffee, they're quite remote. They're 3-4 hours up Singatoka Valley, up the Ra coastline. So aside from education, the biggest need or requirement there a lot of times is healthcare. So we're partnering up with Fiji Cancer, where when we do our harvest workshops to teach the villagers about coffee, they can come and they can screen and they can do NCD checks and they can do nutritional workshops at the same time, because then you've got 2 or 3 different villages already there. Then with the medical team already there, they can, while we're doing the harvest workshop for the farmers, all the families and everyone else can get checked out.
South Pacific Coffee is actively promoting locally grown coffee with the goal of reducing reliance on imported coffee from other countries. By sourcing coffee from local farmers and communities, the company is helping to boost the domestic coffee industry and creating a sustainable, self-sufficient supply chain. This shift not only supports on local agriculture, but also contributes to the economic growth of Fijian communities.
In this segment, we visit the serene coastal villages of Vanuatu, where pearl farming is slowly reshaping local economies and uplifting communities. Pearl farming, once a niche industry, has emerged as a key driver of sustainable development, providing a promising livelihood for many residents. In an effort to strengthen and support these communities, Minister for Fisheries and Forestry, Alithea Mbanivalu, recently conducted a visitation to fisheries stations and communities in the Northern Division. While the visit coincided with the annual World Fisheries Day celebration, Minister Mbanivalu said it was fitting for the event to be held in Vatulele village, Savu Savu, where villagers are actively involved in the farming of edible pearl oysters and corals.
World Fisheries Day is celebrated across the world on the 21st of November. So because there were some internal commitments by the ministry, we had shifted the date to today, and it coincides well with the ministry celebrating a few milestones, one being the launching of the Aquaculture Development Plan of 2024-2028 and the Aquaculture Bill which was recently passed last week Thursday. And in the Aquaculture Development Plan, it outlines nine commodities, 9 potential commodities, and one of the commodities, which is edible oyster, is currently being farmed at Vatulele. So that was why the ministry thought it would be ideal to hold the World Fisheries Day celebrations at Vatulele.
With the launch of the Aquaculture Development Plan 2024-2028 and the recent passing of the Aquaculture Act 2024 in Parliament on December 5th, 2024, this will further create a foundation for growth, innovation, and resilience, transforming the sector for the benefit of future generations in aquaculture. Out of the 20 villages designated for edible oyster cultivation under the Aquaculture Development Plan 2024-2028, 10 villages from the Thakomdrove province will participate in this initiative. A tale of transformation and perseverance shines through the journey of the Nasomora Women's Group from Somsomo in Taveuni. These women are actively involved in creating unique pearl shell jewelry made from Mabe pearls, aligning with the government's vision to enhancing the livelihoods of women and their families.
Sivingo endo abo iman. Endo mbitunga wetu inda sangatun ila. Insin ila ini tu ina labu wote ina value adding ta ya vi akeveso ina bu ni nantu na viva nangani viva. Endo na turang di balangi. Oko tara na pearl na byproduct ito bang tagasong nangani viva. Erto non songo chico erto kotangami bikito nangani viva. Tunge may savata me adobsar ni kanalay musu se me lay savati ketale ani me reni vatungo na rera ini product ito wasa.
The distinctive handicrafts would serve as a source of pride and a pathway for sustainable income for coastal communities. Zenuloli expressed her gratitude to the government for the assistance in uplifting the livelihoods in Vanuatu.
Babin binata inurto na USC ata inurto na Ministry of Fisheries. Ito may partnership ata chiyo na buo ni sangasongo ni Biboli. Babin binata inurto talaga na fisheries na World Fisheries Day ko. Nurto surage ito yan. Na buo ni sasanga ina na tumburi ni business na buo ni sangasongo ni Rama Handicraft. Babin natin nito na singa ni uwa. Mbo may ataltunga ina sabi bole na singa ni uwa. Na buni na sasanga ta ichi na business ni na nito lo ni oro somsomo. Na buo ni be imami na marama na empowerment ta ichi na marama na karna matakabila ko.
A testament to the government's commitment was the establishment of the Savo Mabe Pearl and Handicraft Showroom in Vanuatu. Minister for Fisheries Alite Ambanivalu, while opening the handicraft showroom, said this would serve as a platform for preserving traditional skills, empowering artisans, and training fisheries officers and community members in transforming raw shells into exquisite handicrafts.
The showroom has machines for design, for crafting jewelry made out of oyster shells. So for now we have the women from Ravita who will be currently involved in jewelry making. So it is also a good opportunity to showcase the program, the initiative to other women out there in not only in Thakomdrove but the whole of Fiji who are interested to to be engaged in that field and to also explore the potential of making jewelry handicrafts from pearl oyster Odiva.
As a result, income-generating opportunities in remote areas have expanded, along with a broader range of products within Fiji's developing pearl industry. According to Minister Mbanivalu, the coalition government's continued investment in aquaculture highlights the importance of a robust legal framework to unlock its full potential and ensure lasting success within the ministry and Fiji as a whole.
Apiculture or beekeeping goes far beyond than just producing honey. It requires a commitment to understanding the behavior of bees, their needs, and how to manage them in a way that promotes both their health and the farmer's success. For Marilita Yambakivo, the work is a delicate balance of ensuring that the bees have enough food, managing hives, and sometimes dealing with external factors like weather conditions. Yambakivo's journey in apiculture began in 2014 when her interest in the field was developed, and in 2015 the completion of a basic beekeeping training laid the foundation for the establishment of a beekeeping business.
Na tau ia vuni nongu ngangandre se na interest sa veo mai nongu vina kata meu susone na kila ngo bure saranga mai namba kirona ondol tin kaba apa nan taka mai ona nongu angolendo na agriculture show garabiti ko mai lotoka au manisar sarwa begitu ngana rtombore ni stalls ni singaya galitawa chuna lo mangu nongu reda ni susone o kwe Vaka karoro sar baleta uirang garabirang abatekira ersang ni dalang kita kana nonrungun wai siana kian rame bakambang nang garabir namon manwe na bul makau iya aungai wili katalangan to voluntus ni bolai cubango bisnis ngo erang garabali ngana marama nambak saranga satik bu ngol mekino veo nambut-butin ni ngandra musa au bina katemukila na kambletir na woni kena nongu susungira.
Yambakivo is part of a 9-member cluster group based in Tavua, primarily composed of vegetable farmers, organic farmers, and livestock farmers. The group has encouraged a collaborative environment where even those who are not currently beekeepers have been encouraged to start their own beekeeping business, with the collective goal of supporting and helping one another in their respective ventures.
Nito cluster ni susuoni ngo sanga wala nganira members ngo mera susuoni ngai na veni nito cluster na tubata agromix farmers cluster na yavana agromix balata ni bunga bira susman manu wakana bul makau na buaka na ose cikutal ngai so era tite kona crop farming vegetable farming so organic farmers kita levi wati kona members evi rumah kita kona marama wati kiri tu na vida natural na lo menini tu kelas ta ya sangai babureki na me kitunggar apa me mertu sana bakis ni oni ortu na sangat tikuni bakis ni oni na lo meni ambakingo sa ruo virtu na members boya sa cikora ortu kisi sangai botal tiko rua na daga kita daga cingo na dana bakami kita tukuna bagana dana ba perten ya we helping others to grow within our cluster. Dati sini lebu ay wataka ambi kana buna ko may tau ya bukin nito song-songo sangay via ruan ambak cingo na nandindeni nito toyam ko na cluster ngo nela bani kito sa register awirto na Ministry of Agriculture wilki na kanada kanito tin virto na firka me dollar rosar kinando nito to bunilabo virto na BSP.
The Tavua Cluster Group falls under the umbrella of the Fiji Beekeepers Association, which has provided significant support to beekeepers in the region. The support includes access to essential equipment such as honey extractors, which can be costly for individual beekeepers. The association's assistance helps alleviate some of the financial barriers, enabling beekeepers to enhance their operations and improve productivity.
Na Fiji Beekeepers Association e vivu ki sarwalevu na vikima mina local beekeepers na kau sarawarawa ni roto vivu ki mandanga nandua na training na mentoring program training chiko na momento kai roto na mo trainers sana ngai wase bikimu ni na yaya kona ngadala lai mevaka na kisi na frames na wan kakedengo raya solivu Yortundo vivu ki na Fiji Beekeepers Association. Pikito na cluster. Kito kalunga tani kito apply takando na vivu ki erto sulia mai va vivu ki orto sponsor kina na PFON ki na FO for ACP. Abat kina European Union balat tabat tambik dua sarangan na honey extracting equipment na yaya ni ngangangi honey. Balatan yamba ki kime miseti ki bukina sendrenre na extract ay sa ulew. Chik sar nandun undol wada ke obuli amanda ngamen duangan anum. So awu wabini bina kabirto na Ministry of Agriculture na ngone ya. Don kan rto do bibu ke mamike min do le renta chuk menor to bi suit sena non to inga gini on. Yani sabi bu na Fiji Beekeepers Association bikito na class tango na embakiron do luro sa karwa. Nakangge ka borto ya. Seng wala ngani nito honey extracting equipment. Wili bata may na isele na idula ni Faka harvest kena bulo wili kena na ingangangi kena kani vembe na kena isau baila basana bichu ngana undol bada na ni usarabati ke baka kito bulia na songsong we andona bibu ke banguli mai virto na Fiji Beekeepers Association.
Once ready, the honey products are sold to customers in Suva, the Western Division, and even as far as Tonga, Australia and New Zealand. However, the majority of the sales are to family and friends who are familiar with Embakivo's beekeeping business and its quality offerings. This local and international reach has helped expand the customer base, while personal connections continue to drive a significant portion of the sales. After several years in beekeeping, Yambakivo has gained a deep understanding of bee behavior and their way of life. She now believes that success in the field requires adapting to the bees' natural living patterns rather than trying to impose a rigid schedule. This adaptability has been key to maintaining healthy colonies and ensuring the productivity of her hives.
Nangona uriviki ni bango era ni lebu tuna reason dua kwa sa ready talti ko sa sina ina frame loma me check tak me harvest se ngona ngona ni bisa unin raki orto na tukuna mai sabolak na uda sabolak na ndona vangi se ratukuna mai kata-kata iloma birabina kata me ventilate o kento to bina kata no irini vangi kone o irital ngana no rita bitu ngana irir done wasile bundona rev tungo songa ta sartu ngana entrance na kartu to kam kartu irir chikum batir salelew na kuine ko susu subasu de tungai na visinga vida batan undul na yalokai kembal na lewu ni woni chiko bana lomani box ya nirsale lewu eso sana lak metum yo ya una ka babuli de no woni ko sini war kyau kembal na nungu program sini via program kino no ya mu program te ke obana na program duango Kemo kasare di toko me habe sa ngai ongong chiko na nungu onga liva ka onga ni somate singini sud tew kono sin war kyau nango nga sana pia pang taktal kinu kono hanya ko sana pang tara ngai me check samber.
Embakivo is encouraging individuals interested in starting a small business to consider beekeeping, emphasizing that it requires only 2 days of basic beekeeping training to get started. She highlights the many benefits of the venture, including its low initial investment.
Nabimbuli nga aurani banda takanangon go vira soara sasangat tu era bakasam tati mbaka ngon salava ni baburi lavo mebuke vale bitu kana marama sene tambangon nangono ni kwa Aurunika na susu ni sang soit sarna ni ngandrevi ngamo buli to manda mo buli ruangan singa na kena training basic beekeeping training matai ngani singa o theory karuni singa kana ngole saranga mo practical.
The government support in the form of a $1,000 grant for materials played a pivotal role in turning Merilita Yambakivo's interest in beekeeping into a reality. This assistance was part of the Fiji government's broader commitment to empowering small businesses, particularly in rural areas, by providing necessary resources. By offering financial aid to emerging entrepreneurs like Yambakivo, government has facilitated the establishment of sustainable livelihoods, contributing to economic diversification and rural community development.